Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pickleball and Politics, where I can buy my quest to stay out of the kitchen with my passion for politics. I usually give where you can find me at the end, but I realize after the dink of the day, half of you are like, oh, I heard the dink of the day, I'm gone. So I want you to know you can reach me on pickleballandpolitics.com, my website. You can go to my Getter or Instagram account, Pickleball and Politics. You can go to my YouTube channel, which is also Pickleball and Politics, or you can reach me on Twitter at Pickle and Paul. All right, Twitter is Pickle and Paul. Okay, I might have had my greatest afternoon of pickleball ever for me. For those of you who follow my pickleball quest, I might have reached my peak of my pickleball career because I played 8 games and I won 6, and everything was going right. Every single thing was going right. The shots down the middle, the shots to the net. Ooh, they didn't come back on my side. They went on that side. The shots to the corner. Ooh, they usually go out. No, they stayed in. It was fantastic. Okay, I got to be honest with you. I've recorded this podcast like 10 times now, and I talk too much, and I say too much, and I get all heated, and I get distracted because this is a subject that just makes me crazy. I'll be honest with you. It completely triggers me. And that is that Massachusetts declared a state of emergency due to its migrant crisis of illegal immigrants who have flooded the Commonwealth recently. And just this week, Governor Maura Healey called up 250 Massachusetts National Guardsmen to go to the hotels and to help provide their food, medical care, transportation, sign them up for school, and all that other stuff. Yeah, so we now have military National Guardsmen are in the hotels. Literally, I believe it's 80, 90 hotels in the Commonwealth have been taken over as migrant shelters. We now have National Guardsmen in the hotel providing food, clothes, transportation, medical care, you name it. Okay? In the last month or so, we have gotten 6,300 families. Massachusetts happens to have a right to shelter law. And that is, if anybody with a child asks for shelter, we have to give it to them. Because of that, there is not enough housing. We've had 6,300 families arrive. That's families, not people. And they have literally taken over so many hotels in the area. Completely. They're filled with illegal immigrants. Now, I want to say I don't blame those kids, and I don't blame the parents, because the parents are just looking for a better life for their kids. And I don't blame the kids because they are completely pawns in the politicians' game of life, of how to ruin your life, actually. I blame the federal government. I blame the Biden administration. The Commonwealth blames the feds. The feds say the border's closed. They don't know where these people are coming from. It's the local cities and towns that are having to deal with this. Literally right here, backyard, all of our backyards. Every single state, every single town has become a border town. It's no longer that place down all the way in the Rio Grande, Texas. They're the only ones that got to worry about it. No, it's affecting every single state now, every single city, every single town. If it hasn't come to your town yet, consider yourself lucky because it is coming. Now, the biggest complaint people have had locally is the fact that these kids aren't immunized. And I don't mean against COVID, okay? Because I wouldn't give a kid a COVID vaccine. No way. They don't need it. Okay, but I'm not giving medical advice. I'm telling you what I think, all right? I wouldn't give a kid a COVID vaccine. These kids aren't immunized against mumps, measles, chickenpox, rubella, polio, tuberculosis. Somebody was telling me there's 2 cases of tuberculosis in town, in the schools, from the migrants. Now, everybody in town's kids had to wear a mask for a year. They had to wear a mask on the bus. They had to wear it in school all day. They played soccer with the mask. They played basketball with the mask. They didn't go to school for a year and a half because of the virus. But the kids arrived from wherever they're coming from, all over, and they're put into school first week. Here they are, no vaccines, no immunization records. They don't even have records. And nobody seems to care. Well, the parents are outraged. The kids are coming down with tuberculosis in class. They're like, what's this? I had to keep my kid home for a year and a half because of COVID. But TB, bring it on in. This is all completely because of the inadequacies of the Biden administration. They are completely, without a doubt, responsible for this. I mean, the solution is simple. Just close the border. Now, if you remember, and I saw Vivek Ramaswamy a couple of weeks ago, he said don't bother with the wall because they build tunnels underneath the wall. So the wall's a waste. What we actually need is our military on the border stopping this. And the northern border is getting really, really porous too. It's not just happening in the southern states. I mean, the reason so many are arriving in Massachusetts is because the state of Texas is putting them on a plane and sending them here. How about Texas sends them back to where they came from and come over here legally? A country without borders is not a country. They're bringing diseases and they're bringing, and they're being warehoused. They're just being warehoused. They want to change the law where they're not allowed to work for 6 months to make it a shorter period of time. I'm not for that at all. No. If we let everybody work after a few weeks or when they get here, then we're just going to have more of a flood. Every hotel you go by, you see people are outside talking on the phone. They're calling their friends back where they came from and telling them how to get here. Everything's great. They got us in the hotel. They're giving us 3 meals a day. Don't have to work for 6 months. Like I said, I don't blame the kids. I don't even blame the parents. I completely, 100% blame the Biden administration. And there's one solution to that. You got to stop voting for Democrats. Because every single town they touch is being overrun. New York City is a disaster. They have more than 100,000 migrants who have arrived. I think I remember it's like almost half of the hotels. Well, who's ever going to want to go there again? I mean, the kids coming into school have license stuff. This has totally become an albatross around the necks of the Democrats. We've got to stop this unsustainable migration. It is costing the state of Massachusetts, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, $45 million a month plus. And that cost is rising. Yet there's seniors who can't get into senior housing. There's veterans who are living in their cars. I don't know why exactly they're doing it, except to destroy this country from within. That's just my thought. That's what I think. If you have a thought, let me know. Please leave me a message. Tell me what you think. Here in the Commonwealth, this is unsustainable. It just is. And everybody can get a driver's license too. Okay. I don't know if they have to have a test for that either, but I know they're giving them license undocumented. People are getting licenses too. I don't know if the test is or whatever, but I can't even comprehend it. It makes me crazy. Anyways, we end every episode with the dink of the day. And this week, I have to say the dink of the day is every single elected official in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts who is allowing this to continue, whether it is your local representative, your state representatives, the senators, the people in Washington. Everybody needs money. Everybody needs money. Of course, the problem is when the federal government needs money, they just print up some more. But when the state needs money, it gets to be a problem because we don't have a mint in the back of Beacon Hill. So every single official in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, whether you are a local councilman, a town manager, the mayor, state representatives, state senators, the governor, that whole gang on Beacon Hill, you're all the dink of the day. This is not sustainable. You need to immediately change the right to shelter law. And we have to just stop this because it is not sustainable and there's nowhere to put anyone. All right, until next time, thanks for joining me on Pickleball and Politics. All right, I'll see you again soon.